Welcome to Primetime UFL football. Good evening, everybody. We've got the Houston Herd at the Portland Huskies tonight. It's going to be a great game for sure. Both of these teams with similar records coming into the night, with Houston at 6-5 and Portland at 5-6. Good evening, everybody. I am Mike Daggs, and alongside me in the booth is Joey Ramos-Lynn. Joey, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I mean, this is two teams that are fighting for a playoff spot, 6-5 against 5-6. And we'll see if the Portland Huskies can defend home turf. They absolutely need this win if they want to stay alive.
They definitely do. Sitting in the Northern Division, Dakota up on top at 9-3 coming into the week. Portland is in second place, but at 5-6 with that losing record. Portland needs to get that win to get back to 500. If Houston can get the win, they'll potentially, they're still, I should say, fighting for number one positioning up there in the Southwest Division. Phoenix came into the week at 6-5, Austin at 6-6. So it's a very tight division down there as the ball is returned up to about the 20-yard line. That is where we will see Houston get started tonight on offense. Ball spotted at the 22. Ronnie Shanahan is the quarterback, and he hands the ball off to DJ Simeon to get things started. And actually, that went to Timmy Millsap. Let's look at the whole offense here for Houston. We mentioned Ronnie Shanahan and DJ Simeon at halfback. Wide receivers Renee Lyon and D.R. Simeon, along with tight end DeAndre Lawson. Those are some of the key players here on this offense. Second down and 5. Shanahan to throw, steps up in the pocket, throws up top and finds his target, but it falls incomplete. We'll look at the starting defense now for the Portland Huskies. Not a lot of claimed players here on this Husky team.
Yeah, no, not a lot. Especially when you compare it to Houston, which have their core, right? Ronnie Shanahan at the quarterback position, Simeon at the halfback position. They do have a couple of wide receivers and a tight end. But Portland has done a pretty decent job. Now, when they've lost by a pretty decent margin throughout this season, especially the last 2 games. So, decent start.
Shanahan back to throw on 3rd down and 5, and that one is batted away and incomplete. Good defensive stand by Portland, and Houston's going to have to punt this one away. Portland, Joey, we mentioned how they're at 5-6 right now, coming off of a 2-game losing streak. They desperately need to get back into the win column. It's been a rough time for them. The last time they won was June 5th.
Yeah, and they did, beat the Desperados, but last couple of games, they've been able to put some points on the board. It's been the defense mostly that has let them down. So
now Portland out on the field on offense. They'll get the ball at their own 30-yard line. Emmanuel Blackman is the quarterback. He's going to hand that one off and immediately hit behind the line of scrimmage, tackled for a loss on the play. A loss of 2. It was Teray Wright with the carry and Robach with the tackle.
Yeah, that's Benjamin Robach, maybe the best defensive player of this Houston team, right there with Drew Drisey, one of the star players of this squad. But that's a great start here for the Houston defense. If you can get them going on a 2nd and very long, against the secondary, against this team, it's actually going to be very hard.
Ball is handed off again on 2nd down. This time a short gain on the play will get them basically back to where they started with it. As we look through the starting offense for the Huskies, Emmanuel Blackman is the quarterback. He's the one and looks like only claimed player on this Portland squad. So if you want to get in on the action and I'm part of a team that, still an up-and-coming team, plenty of starting roles available for you to claim. Visit the website, UFL.football. Blackman on 3rd down and 8. He's going to take off and run with it. Can he get there? Gets past the 40 and slides down for the 1st down. Good use of his legs to move the sticks.
Yeah, and great recognition, seeing where the 1st down marker was and making the slide just about half a yard after he got past the 1st down marker. It's not where you finish when you do the slide. It's when you start actually the process of sliding. So really good blocks also on the left-hand side to allow that to happen.
And when he started to slide down, I was actually kind of wondering for a second. I'm like, man, did he slide a little too soon? I was a little anxious to see where the ref spotted the ball, but gave him just enough for the 1st down, and the drive stays alive. So, yeah, Portland in their last couple of games a 34-27 loss to the Minnesota Chippers, and a 27-26 loss to St. Louis Rivermen, as that one goes absolutely nowhere. In fact, a little bit the wrong way again. Another loss of 2 on first down. Robach again with the tackle. But, Joey, it's been, I think, since late May, since either of these teams has lost by more than a single score.
Yeah, no, and that's impressive, you know. And when you have this kind of record, 6-5, 5-6, you always know that you have a chance. So, you know, either one of these teams, you know, Portland here, they are at home. They're having a pretty decent start. So, you know, but Houston has also been very strong.
Blackman puts a man in motion up to the top, and a flag on the play.
Maybe a false start?
No, delay game.
Yeah.
Play clock just got a little bit too low. Void in the chat says, sounds like an actual broadcast, super clean. That's because it is indeed an actual broadcast.
It actually is.
Wait, are you
Absolutely is.
AI? You don't look
Maybe.
like AI. Yeah, I knew it.
Maybe.
You're just like a robot in, like, skin. Like Men in Black, the guy with the zipper on the back. Anywho, Blackman up top, 2nd and 17. A lot of these offensive plays just keep going the wrong direction. Completed that pass, but for a loss of 2.
Yeah, I mean, they're going backwards on quite a few of these plays. Houston is doing a really nice job on the early downs. Now it's about the 3rd down where Houston has to make a play. It's 3rd and 19, so I will expect some sort of deep coverage and just not allowing anything to get past the secondary.
Skippy in the chat says Dags and Ramos sound fantastic. Well, yeah.
Always.
Every day. 3rd and 19. Not a lot of plays on the play card to convert a situation like this. We'll see what they do. And they're just, play action. That fooled nobody. All right, Blackman goes deep over the middle, and that one's complete. No, it broke it up. Oh, wow. Great defensive stand by Houston. I thought he had it.
It was absolute chaos, you know, potential absolute disaster for Houston. But then, what a great hit. That was number 20 on the play. That's going to be the strong safety, Mike Denali, one of the higher-rated strong safeties in the UFL. What a hit to jar the ball loose. 4th and very long, and Houston's defense makes the stop.
So the Portland offense just goes the wrong way on that entire drive. Houston will get another shot at it. Oh, great backspin on the punt. Almost too much.
Almost too much.
That is quite the bouncy football.
just got back to the 20-yard line. Portland's special teams unit had to touch that one down quickly. But Houston will have very good field position. Well, decent field position compared to what could have been. They could have been pinned inside the 5.
1st down and 10 from the 20. That punt is good as a touchback. Draw play goes back to the line of scrimmage. Millsap now with 2 carries on the day. His first went for 5, his second went for nothing. Void wants the mic setup. These are Shure SM7B microphones that go into a Behringer Euphoria mixer. Now you know.
I'm looking at it right now.
There it is. Play action. Oh, pressure on its way. It gets home and sacked. Sanders with the sack, and it's a loss of 7 on the play. 3rd and 17.
Yeah, what a play by Portland. Both front sevens are doing great so far in the early portion of this game. Good pocket here by Houston, but the guy coming off the edge just going virtually completely unblocked and hitting the quarterback hard on that one. Simeon with the play action, and nobody got fooled on that one.
Both offenses struggling to go the correct direction.
Yes. 3rd and 17. I mean, we've seen a lot, a couple of 3rd down and longs.
Shanahan at his own 5, heaves it deep down the left sidelines, got his man, and it's complete up to the Portland 30. What a pass, what a catch to Rene Owen, and it's a 1st down at the 29. Wow.
The pressure was coming right at his face, but there was some sort of breakdown right there in the deep side of the defense, a 59-yard pass, and, I mean, the safeties were nowhere to be found, Mike.
59-yard completion, just absolutely torched the defense. He actually had to stop. I mean, for a pass that far, he had to stop at the 30 and be like, all right, I guess I'll catch it right here.
Yep.
Going to go back down to the ground as Simeon is able to pick up 7. 2nd down and 3. Right as we say, both teams are having a hard time moving the ball down the field. They're like, you know what? I'm just gonna
Chuck it deep.
Yeah, 66 yards in 2 plays. Shanahan. Oh, I thought he was going to break away from that sack, but no, sacked on the play again.
By Sanders. Second sack in 3 plays. So, so far, Mike, it's been, the front sevens have done a really good job, but it's been the secondary, actually. It could have been disastrous also for Houston just a drive ago. Thankfully for them, their safety was able to make a play on the ball. But, it's been tough sledding when you're trying to run the ball here in this game.
3rd and 11 in field goal range, but they don't want a field goal. They're not going to have to settle one for one, at least not quite yet, as that one is complete up to the 12-yard line and another 1st down.
Yeah, and that's D.R. Simeon here on the catch, the number 2 wide receiver, and the number 1 is Leon, who had that 59-yard completion. But Simeon, a very good player as well, 6'3", 224 pounds, and getting that catch in the middle and surviving the big hit by the secondary.
Knocking on the door of the end zone now as the ball is spotted at the 12-yard line. 1st down and 10. They can actually get another 1st down before scoring. And now hand this one off, and that one once again went the wrong way as DJ Simeon kind of struggling so far on this one. Doesn't have a lot of opportunities, but hasn't been able to really capitalize off the few he's had.
Yeah, no, I mean, the defensive linemen are really winning the battle against the offensive linemen, and that's been an issue. But I like the fact that they're kind of sticking with the run a little bit, even because, you cannot just become one-dimensional and just pass the ball 100% of the time. So, I like, the fact that Houston is still trying it. They're just need to try different running plays.
Draw play once again. That one going back down to Timmy Millsap, who's had a few carries now. Good for 9 yards. 3rd down and 7. Antique accident in the chat says, I have so many questions to bother Mike with now. It's Sile/Ellie/ y'all know me as. Pick a name and stick with it. 3rd and 7. Shanahan under pressure. Down he goes. Sacked back at the 15-yard line. 4th and 12, and we'll see the field goal unit come on.
3 sacks already. I mean, the offensive line, they really need to make an adjustment. Maybe put a running back to block, or maybe do some sort of max protect with a tight end. Because, now to be fair, it was some decent time for Shanahan. He just didn't get rid of the ball. But, I mean, if he continues to take those hits, it's going to be a long night by the for the Houston quarterback.
Austin Whitney on to kick a field goal. Rochelle Colston in the chat asking for somebody to score. It's all up to Whitney from the right hash. 31 yards out. Kick is up. Kick is through. It is good. Houston is on the board first. 3:08 to go in the 1st quarter. So an important game for these two teams. Like we mentioned at the beginning, Portland's just trying to, hopefully for their sake, get back to 500 as, they're in a very, well, I don't know if I want to call it a tough division. It's one where, I mean, they're in 2nd place and they're several games behind Dakota.
Yeah, it's top-heavy division.
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, Dakota at 9-3, definitely looking like a championship contender. I mean, there's a handful of teams here in the UFL that are definitely looking championship contender. But, Portland is one of those teams that probably can get into the playoffs and surprise a team or two. And, they just need to, find their way on offense, I think.
Kick returned from the goal line up to the 24-yard line. We have our first bingo numbers of the night, which is, I'm sure, what Rochelle was. Do you think Rochelle's sitting there do you think she prints her bingo card out so she can use like one of them little blotter things?
I think so.
Yeah, like they do in the bingo halls. She's just sitting there and like stamps. I got 31.
I think so. Yeah.
Be a lot more fun than just clicking it. If you have one of them little blotters. Oh, look at this run! Oh, let me stop talking. Right, with a big run up the middle. Finally, some positive yardage for Portland, but they had so many negative yards in the first drive. They're probably back to 0 as a team.
Yeah, but that's a different run. That's a counter play, so you have 2 blocking linemen pulling from one side to the other, and that really opens up the lane. It really confuses the defensive linemen. That's a good play by Portland.
Ron Haynes confirming that is actually how Rochelle plays bingo. I'm curious how he knows, but I don't judge. Blackman Pass over the middle, good for a gain of 9, right up to midfield. And notice something else that Skippy said a little bit ago. So you've replaced Gerald entirely? Listen, Joey showed up.
I did.
He's here.
I am.
So yeah, done, replaced, gone. 2nd down and 1. Oh, look at that run. Blackman taking it himself once again. Wait, you summoning your inner Matt Wilson with that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I sure am. But Blackman at 6'5", one of the bigger quarterbacks here in the UFL, but he can move for his size. He reads it pretty much like a quarterback draw on that play here on 2nd down and 1. He didn't even think of it. All the receivers went out to block, and there he goes. And Portland is nearing scoring position to at least tie this football game up.
Yeah, that looked like a designed one to me. I mean, there was no hesitation. If it wasn't designed, then kudos to Blackman for like recognizing immediately. He's like, oh, there's a wide open hole in front of me. I only need a yard. I'm just going to go get it. Passes up top to a wide open receiver. That one is complete for a 1st down. Dwayne Knight with the catch.
It's an interesting concept right there. It's almost like a fade route.
Yeah.
On the top of the field. You normally don't see that route, in between the 20s, but that was a good route right there. Actually, a wheel route, my bad. It was from the slot. It was going inside to outside on a wheel route. Really good route combination to, put Knight open for a good gain.
1st down and 10. Portland trying to respond to Houston's field goal that they got only about 2.5 minutes ago. Draw play. That one's good for a few yards. His right now has 24 yards on the ground. For as much as they struggled the first time they had the ball, this drive, not to jinx them, but this drive's going actually quite well.
Yeah, and I will run it here again on 2nd down and 4, especially right to that strong side of the field.
2nd down and 4. Ooh. Yeah, that play had potential, but Conley wrapped up immediately. Loss of 1 on the play, 3rd down and 5.
It's a different running play. It's a jet sweep, but well played by the defensive line.
End of the 1st quarter, one that flew by pretty quick. Houston out in front, 3-0 over the hometown Huskies. You're watching the UFL on the Virtual Football Network. I'm Mike Daggs. He's Ramos Lynn. Cameron Irvine back at UFL Studios. Pass down to the 1 will move the sticks. 1st down and goal from actually they spotted it at the 3.
Yeah, when you give the quarterback time, it's very hard to stop a 5 receiver offense. That's a simple curl route right there, and the lefty connects with his receiver, gets inside the 5-yard line to the 3, and now Houston will have to do a goal line stand. This is a great drive here for Portland. They've done some balance. They've run the ball a little bit, combined with some of the intermediate throws. It's worked well for the Huskies so far.
1st down and goal from the 3. Ball handed off and getting into the end zone. Portland gets the touchdown, takes the lead.
It's Teray Wright right there, the 27-year-old halfback. One of the best players here of this offense, and I really like the blocking here up front for the Huskies. I mean, you don't need a whole lot. When you're at the 3, you don't need a whole lot. You just need about a little bit of a gap, and the running back can just run right through it.
Yeah, great player and available to claim. It's kind of surprising that there's still starting players that touch the ball as often as somebody like Teray Wright. That could be yours if you go to UFL.football and claim them. Let's talk about the playoff picture, Joey, as we have some updated standings now. Divisional leaders. Hornets in 1st place at 10-2. The Rhinos at 9-3. They got the 2nd place spot. Wildcats 9-3 as well. They're in 3rd. And then the Houston Herd right here, they're at 6-5. But if they lose this one and go on to 6-6, things start to really kind of mess up, because you look at the wild card. The Devils at 9-3. They have a good winning record and currently in that wild card spot. Same thing with the Aztecs of Los Angeles. To be clear, at 8-4. That's the most I'll say. Lone Stars at 6-6, and the Bobcats at 6-6. So for Portland, they're at 5-6. They're not on that list. They need to get that win to get to 6-6 to at least be in the fight for that wild card spot. And you see them down in the hunt right now, down at the very bottom. Portland at 5-6, along with a couple of other squads as well. Why don't we, I think we probably have a moment. Why don't we bring in Cameron Irvine, our AI expert, and God, look at that hair. He's so pretty.
What's up, fellas?
Why don't you talk some tiebreakers, Cam?
It's getting wild.
Joey's holding your picture right now.
I'm looking double.
if Portland were to win tonight, that is 6 teams in the West at 6-6. Nice run there by Millsap. So crazy stuff going on right now. Right now, Houston has the half-game lead on the division lead, but in a 3-way tie. What's that tie break? I actually don't know. Probably should have done that before I got on camera. But I do know what's going on currently with the 6-6s. San Jose and Phoenix right now would currently be out due to conference record. And then Austin blew out Fresno in primetime about a month ago. That's why they're the 7th spot. So potentially 6 teams at 6-6, or Houston could win tonight, get to 7-5, and give themselves a comfortable opportunity with 4 more games left to go in the season.
Thank you, Cam. We'll call you back in a few minutes when we miss your face. 2nd down and 10. Shanahan got hit. I think he got hit right as he threw that one, and that ball went about 5 yards out of bounds. Cam in the box, says Ellie / whatever she wants to go by that day.
Yeah. And on the previous play, I will go back just to the previous play. You know, the quarterback got crushed as he was throwing the football. So that is why he threw the ball just like to the, second deck. That was, but that's the pressure that Portland has been able to do on Houston tonight.
Houston now trailing by 4 after Portland got a touchdown on the previous possession. That pass over the middle to Leon. You pronounced that name way better than I did.
Leon?
Yeah. I don't know why. I can't. I have struggles. How do you say that volcano again?
Popocatépetl?
Popocatépetl.
There you go.
Nice. It only took me 8,000 tries. The volcano of Mexico. Popocatépetl.
There you go.
Nice.
There it is.
I can see
wide open right there, Leon, by the way. He's the main target here of this offense. You might think it's DR Simeon. He's had a very good season, but it's actually Leon at 6'1", 178. Very fast.
3 receiver set, but they will hand that one off. Immediately hit in the backfield and tackled for a loss on the play. That man right there has been in the backfield multiple times. Sanders has got a couple of sacks, a couple of TFLs now. He's just been an absolute menace.
Yeah, absolutely so far. My player of the first half for sure. Sanders has been a one-man wrecking crew. I mean, he's been completely unblocked off the edge on most plays.
2nd down and 12. Houston looking to respond. 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Ball handed off to Simeon. Immediately bottled up. This Husky defense has been doing a fantastic job at just swarming to the ball carrier. And, I mean, they've been making tackles. They've been getting sacks, TFLs. They've been breaking up passes. It's been a great defensive effort.
Yeah, and that time they tried with a 3 tight end set. All day to throw here for Shanahan.
All day is an understatement. Heaving it towards the end zone, in the back of the end zone, and incomplete. Tried to get it in the hands of Leon, but he could not haul that one in. Now he's things getting a little chippy out there.
Yeah, that's frustration right there. He didn't get the ball, and now he wants to, do some retaliation. But that's a great job here by Portland secondary for the very first time in quite a few plays. No pass rush for the Huskies, but the secondary did a magnificent job on covering everybody. Now it's 4th and 8, and Houston is not in field goal range, or maybe they are. 56-yard field goal attempt.
Wow. It's not even going to come close. That didn't even make it out of the blue paint.
Nope. That was not a great idea.
No, because now they're going to turn the ball right back over to Portland at about, the Portland's 45. We'll see where the ball gets spotted.
Yep. So that was Austin Whitney, the kicker, and, about a solid 6 yards short.
Correction, purple paint.
Purple paint.
Listen, when I go to Lowe's and my wife is like, do you like this purple or that purple better? The color cards she's holding up, it's all the same.
It's the same cards.
Purple is purple, blue is purple. It's all the same.
It's the same cards.
Was it green? No. Was it yellow? No.
No.
It's bluish purple.
Yes. Both of them.
Give me a break. 2nd down and 1. 9-yard pickup on 1st down. Portland with a chance to pile on some extra points here, and Houston's defense playing a little bit soft. That pass easily able to be completed to a wide open A.J. Price. And another first down for the Huskies.
Yeah, good timing and good patience here by Blackman connecting with his receiver. Now, the Huskies are the team that are nearing scoring position. Oh, pump fake.
Deep pass towards the end zone, and it is incomplete. Almost picked off. Great defensive coverage on the play by Tyrone Lofton. Ball falls harmlessly to the turf. Second out.
It's a great coverage. That's one-on-one coverage against the safety. It's not easy for a safety to make that play.
Second down and 10. Blackman throws the ball, that one, into a lot of traffic. Now 6 of 9 for 45 yards on the day. Third down and 10.
Yeah, third down and long. Portland at the 42. They do need to at least get the first down marker to have still a scoring opportunity. It will be a very long field goal from here.
All sorts of time for Blackman as he looks, finds a target down the right sideline inside the 20. Gets that one complete. 29-yard reception tonight gives the Huskies another first down. Ball spotted at the 13-yard line.
Only a 3-man rush, and that's a simple corner route to the right side, and the safety was nowhere near the play. It's a great recognition by the quarterback as the corner was in charge of the flats. And a wide open Knight makes the first down well into the red zone.
First down and 10. Play action. Blackman checks it down. And complete, but not for any gain at all. I kind of feel like he rushed that one. I think he had some options that were a little further downfield. I don't know if that was the actual play design or if he just decided to just unload it, but I would have liked to see him let that one develop a little bit more.
Yeah, he just got speed out, but maybe not the best option.
Blackman up top finds the target wide open. Nobody within 10 yards of him. Is able to get a handful of yards, picks up 7, in fact. Third down and 2.
Yeah, and now they're inside the 5. This is a tricky situation. Third down and 2 inside the 5. Any pass, you're throwing into tight coverage, presumably.
They're down and 2 towards the end zone, and that one's batted away. Another great defensive effort by Houston, and much like Portland's defense has been, all over Houston's offense tonight, Houston's defense is stepping up as well. It's a lot more of a bend but don't break type thing.
Yeah. No, and it's, it worked out at least on that play for sure. They will keep it a one-score game, Houston will, and good defensive play. I mean, that's a clean defensive play, no PI. And the Knight, who's been very active so far in this game, unable to come up with it.
Kick by Roberts is up and good. Portland extends their lead to 10-3 over the Herd. And, we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, Joey, that Portland's coming off a 2-game losing streak. Their last win was over the El Paso Desperados here in Portland, 38-14 back on June 5th. But since that time, they were on the road for a couple games. They went to St. Louis, took on the Rivermen, lost by a single point. I don't know. It doesn't make losing hurt any less. A loss is still a loss.
Right.
But, damn, to be that close, within a point, and then, to move on to Minneapolis, Minnesota, they took on the Minnesota Chippers, lost that one 34-27. So still, they've been able to put points up, 26 and 27 points in those 2 losses. Now finally back home, looking to get back to 500 tonight. And so far, so good. Their first drive, I wasn't too convinced. They went nothing but the wrong way. But since that time, their last couple of drives, they've been able to move down the field and real close to getting a touchdown on that last drive as well. But 10 unanswered points so far.
Yeah, and they've had a very, very tough schedule. St. Louis is one of the top 5 teams in the UFL. They also play Cincinnati when Cincinnati was beating everybody. So it's been a tough schedule so far.
Shanahan back at it on offense. He has not had that great of a night so far. 3 of 8 for 97 yards. He did have a big pass down the field, but other than the 59-yarder.
59-yard.
Yeah, other than that 59-yarder, it's been a lot of short passes, but only's completed a couple of them. So still trying to get something going. Is that run good for a pickup of 6 yards? Simeon now with 15 yards on the day. Your updated bingo numbers at the bottom of the screen. Got to play some bingo at the SFL convention too. That was pretty fun.
I had 2 bingos.
I had like, I think 3 or 4. Oh, I had a bunch. It's fun that you can get multiple bingos on the same card. 4th down and inches. As that pass is just shy of the line to gain. See if they take another look at that, or too far back in your own territory to go for it here?
Yeah, no, I will punt it here. I mean, the defense has been okay so far. You have to trust your defense in that situation because, you know, we saw how it worked for Houston when they kicked that field goal, a questionable decision. You know, they put their defense in a tough spot, and then Portland got a field goal out of it. So I think punting the football is the right situation here.
I think they should fake it. Direct snap to the running back. No such luck. Ball drops down at about the 20. Good little shake and bake move there. Gets him up a few more yards. Get the ball up at the 25-yard line. So, you know, Portland now, you know, in a great opportunity. I mean, they were down 3, and then they were able to get that touchdown to go ahead by 4, kicked the field goal on the last drive. Now they've got 4 minutes and all 3 timeouts to move the ball 75 yards down the field. They could potentially, pressure on its way. Oh, wow. Block was missed, and a big sack on the play will put Portland in really difficult territory here to get this drive started. Sean Johnson with the sack.
Yeah, Sean Johnson, the best right end that this team has. Really good job getting the speed rush on the outside, not letting the tackle to catch up to him. So a loss of 10 yards, and you know that's why you punt. That's why you're not fake it, Mike.
You why not? They could have gotten an inch, dude.
Yeah, I mean you can tell I'm the defensive guy here.
Inch. Yeah. Oh, another great job by the defense. Immediately meeting the ball carrier right back at the line and hitting him for no gain on the play. 3rd down and 19 now. They'll spot him a 1-yard pickup, but 3rd and 19. We'll see what they're able to drop. This is not, ironically, the first time that we've seen this situation tonight for Portland. As Blackman down the left side and, almost had his target.
Wow.
That was close. Pass was broken up, though. Fort couldn't haul it in, and Portland will have to punt. So since they didn't fake it, they'll have decent field position, and they'll have a fresh set of downs.
They will, but this is the best. I know it was incomplete. That was the best throw for Emmanuel Blackman the entire game. I mean, that ball hit their receiver in the hands.
You got to keep that.
In double coverage.
I don't even think Lofton actually was able to break that up. I almost want to say the ground broke that one up on his way down.
You know, and that was Davian Ford, the number 1 wide receiver of this Portland team.
Bunting from his own 5. The ball will come down at about the 35 on the opposite side. Punt coverage team doesn't let it get up past the 41. The Houston now with an opportunity to respond. What definitely would have been tragic for Houston would have been if Portland had chewed up all 4 minutes, methodically moved down the field and got a touchdown and went into the half up 17-3. But now because of that sack on 1st down, they were able to get the ball back, and now they could potentially tie this one up. Shanahan throws down the right side, and that can't happen, Joey.
No.
Nobody hit him. DeAndre Lawson had it in his hands and just dropped it.
I mean, it's been a tough day for Ronnie Shanahan, but that finally was a play in which he got a little bit of a pocket going on and delivered a perfect pass.
2nd down and 10. They'll go down to the ground. And if there's any one thing that these defenses have been doing right today, it's been stuffing these running games on both sides of the ball. Sean Muller with the hit and a loss of 1 on the play. 3rd and 11. Yet again, another 3rd and long scenario.
Yeah, these defensive ends and outside linebackers have been impeccable so far in this game.
On both sides.
On both sides.
Yeah.
No running back has been able to turn the corner.
No. They do not have to snap it before the 2-minute warning, but they do. And a draw on 3rd down and 11. Almost feels like they gave up on that one, but 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Portland's out in front 10-3 over the Herd. And another punt upcoming. I don't know if I really like the draw there.
No, I mean, even if you're going to do the draw, at least let it go to the 2-minute warning first.
Yeah.
Because then you're giving Portland a free timeout, essentially.
So the ball, great punt, goes out of bounds at the Portland 6. So we'll see what they're willing to do here. They do still have all 3 timeouts. Basically the same situation I talked about on their last drive. They've got that opportunity to go up 17-3. If they can get down the field, score a touchdown, just half the time to do it than they had on the last possession. And they got to be careful backed up this close to their own end zone. They got sacked for a 10-yard loss last time and nearly got home that time. Could have been a safety, but got the pass off. It was complete, gain of 4.
Great job by Blackman on that one. The blitz was coming from that side, so that's where he threw the ball. It's only 4 yards, but that could have been a safety if he held on to that one.
I just noticed, well, I'll move on. Blackman throws over the middle, and that one is also complete. We'll see if he got the first down. Nope, 3rd and inches. Skippy had asked if I know how to spell Popocatépetl. Oh, crap. Did I lose how to say it?
Yeah, you did.
Popocatépetl.
There you go.
That's what I said. Yes, I know how to spell it with letters. Blackman over the middle on 3rd and inches, and another questionable decision. Joey, it's almost frustrating because we saw Blackman make a great decision on a 2nd and 1 earlier where he snapped it, took 1 step back, and rushed up the middle for about 15. He could have gotten inches, just move the sticks and keep the drive going.
Yeah, and the corner sent a blitz. I mean, at the end, it was probably not the best play call in that situation, but it could have worked. He just needs to deliver a better ball.
Yeah.
Because he just threw it to the ground.
Well, punt is away, and that's going to leave Houston with an opportunity to respond. They'll have about a minute and still all 3 of their timeouts to see what they can do. They'll start at their own 33-yard line. Even a field goal helps them here. But, they're certainly looking to try to get a touchdown and get this one tied back up.
Very importantly, Houston didn't have to burn any of the timeouts because of that incompletion. So they still have 3 timeouts. If you can get on this play about 10, 15 yards, you call one of the timeouts and you still have 2 when a minute left.
Shanahan puts Simeon in motion up to the top, relatively uncovered if he wanted to go that way, but instead just a clear out over the middle. And that one good for a gain of only 5 yards. They'll be content to let the clock roll.
So if they go no huddle, it's a 10-second runoff. There are no spikes also here in the UFL, so you either burn your timeouts or you go out of bounds.
Shanahan up top, wide open target, complete inside the 40. A good catch on that one by Leon.
I'll put a little bit of speed in here. Let's see if they go in the no huddle.
I don't know if they're looking to redeem their timeouts at the concession stand for some choco flan.
Maybe they do.
I don't think you can.
You cannot take them to the second half either.
You cannot do that. So they should probably just be using them. But instead, they will go back to the line. 21 seconds and the clock rolling. Shanahan trying to get them in field goal range. No, he's trying to get into the end zone, and he almost got there. Oh, D.R. Simeon had an opportunity to get the touchdown there. Could not haul it in. Clock stopped with 14.
That was a beautiful play by Shanahan. He looked to the left first, just pulled the safety to that side, and deliver a great ball in one-on-one coverage. A frozen rope.
From the 38-yard line now, Shanahan looks, steps up, hit, and sacked back at the 50, and that's devastating. Now they call one of those timeouts with 8 seconds to go. Joey, they had such a good opportunity to at least get in field goal range. I respect the effort to get to take that touchdown shot that they had. They should have had that. Couldn't haul it in, but now, they need to get a 20-yard completion just to quick call a second timeout to get in field goal range. See if they're able to do it. We saw a field goal try this direction earlier that was long, and it was
there you go.
Well short. That one gets them in range. They call a timeout with 3 seconds to go. And we'll see if this kick is any better. Was it a 56-yarder they tried kicking, and it didn't even make it out of the purple paint?
Yeah, no, the wind is blowing heavily from right to left on your screen, so that was a little bit of a tough ask, but now you'll have about a 44-yard field goal attempt. Oh, Cam now is saying it's blue. First down and 10, Mike, they're going for this. They want a touchdown here.
Wow, time expired. No field goal. They're going to complete it over the middle, and they don't get into the end zone. Wow. Interesting choice. Is now head to the half with only 3 points on the board. First 2 quarters are in the books. Portland out in front, 10-3 over Houston. Houston left a opportunity on the field to try to get, I don't know. I guess they wanted to try to tie the game up, and it did not work.
Maybe they didn't trust their kicker as well. About a 42-43-yard field goal. And we're going to bring Cameron Irvine here in just a minute. Let's first talk, about
your thoughts on the first half so far.
The great pass rushing from both teams, especially from Portland, who are basically, making all of this happen. 10-3, Houston is a team that has had a very strong, offensive outings in many games so far this season. Not on this one. Portland's defensive ends and outside linebackers especially are, playing great, and that's why Portland has a 7-point lead.
We'll take a quick break for league rights. We'll be right back.
This presentation of the UFL is intended for the private use of our audience. Any accounts or descriptions of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Welcome back for the start of the third quarter. Touchback in the end zone. We'll get things started. I miss Cam's face. Let's bring him back to talk about the ending of that first half and what he might have to say about that.
Can we please talk about how game night ended? That was so much better executed in terms of situational AI. The first bit of it, why Houston didn't call that first timeout, I think it's one of those things that you're talking about a second or two. Good pass from Blackman there. Talking about a second or two difference from calling a timeout to not calling a timeout, saving it to not saving it. So I think it's just one of those things where it's at the very end of the threshold of when you would want to call that, and it just didn't happen. Why they went for it there, typically you will see a team late in the first half trailing go for something like that, but only when they're really close to scoring a touchdown. They were not close to scoring a touchdown. I'm shocked, truly shocked that they went for it there. Houston had a game earlier this season, weirdly end, where they just ran the ball in no huddle, which no other team has done this season. So Houston's got some things to figure out in this sort of no huddle situational thing. We had a team that didn't even show up on the field this week, Phoenix, and we had to delay by a game. So maybe Houston's situational stuff is none too bright. Not sure what happened there, but that's not what we want at the end of the first half. They should have kicked the field goal.
All right, thanks, Cam. And yeah, I would have definitely liked to see them try to kick the field goal. I was so convinced they were going to do the field goal.
Me too.
I wasn't even looking down on the field, and they're going for it. I'm like, no, they're not. Oh, well, look at that.
Maybe the kicker was scared of the blue-purple paint, and he didn't want to see it.
I don't know what color it is.
I don't know.
I'm not going out there until I get answers.
That's true.
It's more of like a violet.
Oh, God.
Blackman on first down. Short pass over the middle is Portland getting back on the field here in the second half. Looks like they're getting back to that methodical drive type thing that they had going on after the, that first possession did not go well, and then the next two were able to put up some points on the move here. Blackman goes up top, wide open target, had beat the coverage and beat just about everybody on the Houston defense. Huge gain all the way down to the 11-yard line. First down and 10 now.
Beautiful throw up the seam right there by the lefty quarterback, looking at that left side. And that was one of those pillow throws, as they like to call it. It's just catchable right on time. And all of a sudden, Portland's first couple of drives, so, when they scored points, it was very methodical, just getting 4 yards, 5 yards. This time already 2 minutes into the third quarter in scoring range.
Ball is handed off around the right side now. Wright picks up a handful of yards. Second down and 7 from the 8. Skippy says violet is a shade of purple. It's purple, but by that logic, it's also violet.
It is.
So,
Is it lilac?
how do you say purple in Spanish?
Morado.
Yeah, that. Play action. Blackman looks wide open in the end zone. Touchdown Huskies, and they extend the lead.
Looks like a dig route. Let's take a look at the replay here. and is just coming right across in between the corners, linebackers, and safeties. That soft spot of the defense. What a great throw here by Blackman, connecting with his receiver for a touchdown. And just like that, the Huskies go up 2 scores.
Yeah, I mean, dangerous territory now for Houston, as this extra point will put the Huskies up by 14. Extra point is up and good. 17-3. 7-play, 74-yard drive. Took about 3.5 minutes off the clock. Got some extra bingo numbers up on the board. Rochelle is getting that blotter ready. Stamped to 17 right off the card.
I wonder how many she printed.
Well, you only need like 1, right?
I mean, you can print more.
Well, sure.
Yeah, probably at least 2,
If not 3.
if not 3.
What are we even talking about?
I don't know.
All right.
You know what? It was also 3. The points that Houston has on the board. They need to score here on this drive.
They definitely do. I mean, again, they had that opportunity for a field goal, chose to go for it. I mean, it's one of those things, Joey, that like when they decided to go for it, if they had scored the touchdown and tied it up going into the half, we would have said, wow, they're geniuses. But when you come up short, as we see Leon's first half numbers, when you come up short and then you go into the half trailing 10-3, and now just like that, you're down 17-3. It's a tall hill to climb. Shanahan finds a wide open target up top. That's Leon right on cue. Gets up to the 41-yard line as he adds on to his impressive night, his updated stats.
Yeah, I mean, outside of Leon, this entire receiving core for Houston has 39 yards receiving. Leon has now almost 150. So what a great game here by the number 1 receiver. That's a simple curl route, about a 15-yard curl route, and getting the ball and getting yardage. I mean, he's been really the only offensive player who's been productive here for Houston.
Gibby says, I think it's a man thing in reference to the colors. Listen, I don't even take offense to that. There is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. The end.
Black and white.
Well, yeah, I was going to say black and white. Maybe gray. Look at this nice run by Simeon. We haven't seen, as we mentioned earlier, any ball carrier on either team really get any huge plays. That was one of the longest runs of the night right there. You saw Simeon's numbers, 3.2 yards per carry on the ground. It's really been a passing game, and really the biggest benefactor has been Ray Leon, who, you know, he's got a season high yardage of 138, and he's right about there here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this is 138, and we still have almost 2 quarters to go. So, you know, if Portland can just contain him for the rest of the game, you know, they'll be straight on defense, but, you know, they'll keep feeding him. You know, something tells me they'll keep feeding him.
2nd down and 5. Skippy says, what about Brown? That is just dark orange. Try again. Ball is handed off to left-hand side. This time getting some decent yardage. Could have actually turned upfield and gotten even a little bit more, but Simeon runs out of bounds. Now up to 40 yards, averaging 4 yards per carry. That's a respectable average.
Yeah, now he's getting a little bit up there. Now the offensive line for Houston has come out and played better here in the second half. You can definitely see the adjustments. Finally, a running back getting to the edge. Great blocking on the outside, including a couple of cut blocks. That's exactly what you love to see when you're running the ball.
Tight offensive formation here for Houston. They will run out of it. Millsap able to pick up a couple. 2nd down and 3. Guess bottom with a 7-yard gain.
Yeah, strong blocking again now by the interior of the offensive line. And what is this formation, Mike? 4-by-1 set.
I don't know. It hurts my brain for some reason. I'm not really sure what's going on. Technically 5 wide. We'll go with that. Shanahan up top into double coverage, and that one is caught. Shanahan's numbers starting to get better. Now 9 of 17. Not, I guess it's, slightly over 50% completion percentage.
About 53%.
Oh, that one was actually incomplete.
Was actually incomplete.
Yeah, 3rd down and 3 still. Shanahan looks to move the sticks. Finds a target down at the 10-yard line, catching the ball and falling backwards out of bounds. Lucas Ryan getting his first catch of the ball game, and a good opportunity for him to get involved as he'll keep the drive alive for the Herd.
Yeah, that's, you know, one of the 3-by-1 sets. So the bunch set is on the left, and, you know, it's really hard to contain 3 receivers on one side of the field. That was looks like some sort of sail route for the wide receiver and found himself wide open for a first and goal. Much better offense, Mike, here in the second half than what we saw in the first half by both teams.
They're going to need it to keep going as they desperately need some points already about the midway point of the third quarter. Second down and goal from the 5 as Millsap picks up a couple of yards, moves it about 4. Shanahan under center, hands it off. Nope, play action. Throws to Simeon anyway, but he's way too close to the sideline. Third down and goal. They'll count that as a completion, gain of 1.
So third down and goal, ball at the 4. You know, it's interesting. I mean, you can run it here, I guess, but I would like to see some sort of play action out of a tight set.
Yeah.
Maybe put like a tight end on kind of like a speed out or something, and just gonna give your quarterback a chance to throw the ball if he finds an open receiver, or maybe even run it himself. So, but they will go in the gun here.
Shanahan standing back at the 10, waiting for the snap. Looks, has time. Pocket starting to break down. He will take it himself and runs into the end zone untouched. Touchdown Houston, and they needed that one.
Yeah, he waited just enough for the offensive line to actually form that pocket and found the A-gap wide open, middle of the field. That's some great protection by the Houston offensive line.
Now only down by a touchdown. And see, imagine if they had kicked that field goal now. You know, either way, it's still a one-score game, but now they need a touchdown just to get this thing tied up, whereas a touchdown would have potentially given them the lead. And, you know, with a quarter and a half to go, time is precious. There's still plenty of time left, but look, that drive right there, 10 plays, 72 yards, took 4 minutes off the clock. So another drive like that would wipe out the rest of the third quarter. And before Houston gets any other opportunity at it, Portland will come back out onto the field on offense. And interesting stat, Portland so far this season, they're 7th in points scored per game at 26.1 points per game on average. 7th best, I should say. Weirdly, they are 7th worst at points allowed per game at 26.1. They have a 0-point differential. I guess it's consistent.
That's consistency for sure. That's balance. That's a lot of balance right there, 26.1 and 26.1. And when you look at their record, 5-6.
Yeah.
That's, you know.
They win some, they lose some. But either way, it's
toss
about
a coin.
Yeah.
Basically, you toss a
pretty
coin,
much.
and that's a result. Especially if this result stands, they will be now 6-6.
Yes. The game would be a lot less entertaining if all they did was flip a coin and that, like, you know.
I guess so.
All right, well, let's get the game started. Flip. Well, it's tails. You lose.
Oh, well.
All right.
That's unfortunate.
See y'all later.
Yeah.
It'd make our
Can you
job a
imagine?
lot quicker.
Yeah. Can you imagine going to the convention to see a coin toss and see who wins?
That's the whole game. Just flip the coin. Oh, you lost. Play action again.
Oh.
Blackman. Oh, sacked once again. Wes Rogers this time gets into the backfield and gets his second sack of the day. 3rd and 21. We have seen a 3rd and 19 plus, I think, at least 5 times in this game for both of these squads.
Yeah, we have. I mean, it's been 3rd and 19, 3rd and 17, 3rd and 21, 3rd and 20, you name it. But strangely, in a couple of occasions, those could have been converted with deep passes. So
yeah,
Houston has to be alert. And actually, I will go like a quarters coverage, just put 4 defensive backs way deep. Anything underneath is fine. Just cover the deep throws.
Blackman has time. He's going to go very deep, and he's got a man past the defense, but he overthrew his target by just about 3 yards. Bobby Conley was the intended target, and Blackman's just kind of beside himself right now, just looking about what could have been.
Yeah, no lack of arm strength right there from Blackman, that's for sure. And if you're the receiver, though, Mike, if you're Conley, you have to dive for that one, too.
You do.
Give it a little bit more effort.
You got to listen. You got to leave it all out on the field, especially when you're fighting for your playoff lives right now. You know, you're trying to get back to 500. You've lost your last couple of games in a row. You know, things have not quite gone the way that you've wanted them to this season, and you've got an opportunity to put away a team with a winning record. Granted, it's only 6-5, but still a team with a winning record that currently has a spot in the playoffs. You don't. You need teams like Houston to get knocked down lower. You need this win.
Yeah.
And, you got to lay out for that pass.
Think of it like in NFL terms as well. You know, the difference between 9-8 and 8-9 is making the playoffs or losing a chance to make the playoffs. So, you know, all these wins are crucial here for both teams, you know, matter of fact.
Shanahan now going to try to get his offense back into the end zone. A beautiful touch pass over the middle was complete to Lucas Ryan. And Shanahan getting the touchdown on their last possession. That was actually his second rushing touchdown of the season. Wouldn't be surprised to see a third if they get back down to that 5-yard line, goal-to-go type situation. I mean, it worked well.
Yeah, it really has. And, you know, Houston finally, again, coming into the second half, they allowed a touchdown first. They got down by 2 scores. But now defensively, they get a stop. They got a touchdown prior to that. And now they're again in scoring range.
First down and 10. We'll hand that one off to Simeon. He picks up about 10. Second down and 1 as the drive continues to get closer to scoring position.
Gun formation here on 2nd and 1.
Seen this a couple times. Of course, they scored the touchdown out of that. Oh, speaking of scoring touchdowns, almost on that one. Got down to the 4. DR Simeon sets up 1st and goal, and this is the same sort of situation that we saw before where Shanahan just ran it in himself.
And you've seen now DR Simeon and Lucas Ryan wide open in the span of 3 plays. But that's really what René Leon is doing too. And now you have to put the 2 bodies on him, and that will free up some of the other receivers to make some plays down the field.
Shanahan in the chat says the Leon and Ryan show. Yeah, and then every once in a while a cameo by DR Simeon.
Yeah.
First down and goal. Offset eye, they'll hand that off to DJ Simeon, who gets into the end zone. Touchdown, and we've got a whole new ball game. Extra point away from tying this up.
Yeah, I mean, the Simeons right there doing back-to-back. Great plays. Good job by the fullback right there, Ness, getting the block right there on the A-gap. And Simeon hits the Heisman post into the end zone for a touchdown. And just like that, Houston has tied this ball game up with an extra point upcoming.
Yeah, 14 unanswered points. You know, the first half looked like it was all Portland. Second half so far, really all Houston in this one. But we'll see. Listen, don't count this field goal before it's made. Extra point is up, and it is good. We saw a kick missed going the opposite direction. And then they did not bring him out at the end of the half. Could have been trust issues. Who knows? But either way, 17-17. Ball game is all tied up. So Portland had a nice lead, and they felt really comfortable, like, everything was going their way. And now as they look up at the scoreboard, they're like, well, shoot, we just relinquished that the 14-point lead that we had. And we talked about the roster here, Joey, about Portland. It's Emmanuel Blackman and friends.
Yeah.
Basically is how you can introduce the roster, because only Emmanuel Blackman is the only claimed player, I should say, on this Portland offense. But they've been able, Portland team in general, there's none on the defense. But they have so far maintained a decent record despite only having the one claimed player. Bring Cameron Irvine back in once again to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, Emmanuel Blackman, as you get his updated numbers, pretty good night so far, is the lone man voting. But the most important thing for Portland is that he is voting. Every single week, Blackman is here, and Portland is 3-2 off of losses this season, which essentially means that, off of a loss, they have an opportunity to get better, and for the most part, they have gotten better off those losses. So it just goes to show you, whether you have 1 player or 10 players on a team, you're still in charge. You're still in control, and huge kudos to Emmanuel Blackman for hanging steady in Portland until more teammates arrive and the Portland Huskies develop their talent. Nice catch.
Thanks, Cam. Kudos to Blackman for making sure he's getting his voice heard. One of the unique features of the UFL compared to the Simulation Football League, where the coaches really have full control over everything, and the players are just kind of, they're along for the ride and hoping that their coaches know what they're doing. At least here they get that opportunity. Look at Blackman's like, I can take care of things by voting and by rushing, as he gets 31 yards now on the day after that pickup of 7. That's it for the third quarter. So 3 quarters down, 1 to go here from Portland. 3 quarters has decided nothing at all, Joey. It's a tie game, 17-17 here on the Virtual Football Network. I'm Mike Daggs. He is Ramos Lynn. 1 quarter will decide it.
Oh.
And finally, a decent run.
Nice toss.
Yeah. Wright picks up a bunch. 12 rushes now for 56 yards.
Yeah. And going back to like the UFL and how it works, right? Maybe you don't know exactly the technicalities of football, right? You don't know what a 3-by-1 set is. But hey, we should run the ball more. And you can just say, hey, let's run the ball more. And that is the great thing about the UFL and for any player to join. If you know a little bit of football, you can be a part of the UFL, get your voice heard, and see your team make those adjustments.
Yeah, and even like you said, if your football IQ is not that great, even if you're watching the game and you're like, well, I don't know how to describe it, but what I saw wasn't good.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to see something else. Like that, for example. Like, so say your running game just keeps resulting in runs like that, where as soon as you hand the ball off, there seems to be no blocking, and your running back is tackled right at the line. In that case, it was a 1-yard loss. You can vote to have your offensive line improve their blocking. I mean, you don't have to know much to be able to say that.
Yep.
And that's a unique feature of this league. And, the more people that get involved with Portland and with other teams can get their voices heard as well and help shape the direction of how these teams, function as they continue on in the season. And especially as we get closer to the playoffs, it's more and more important to get every single win that you can. And, this one quite literally could end up coming down to a coin toss in overtime. We'll see what happens. Currently tie game, 9:45 to go. Clock is rolling. Play action. Blackman under pressure. Throws over the middle. Finds his target and into the end zone. Touchdown Huskies. What a pass. And then the run after catch was perfect by Bobby Connolly.
Yeah, that's a great play action. This time, the defense actually bid on the play. Linebackers got all sorts of discombobulated back there. And a great throw by Blackman connects with his receiver going straight across from left to right on your screen. And Mike, we have another Portland lead, this one by 6 points, but we've seen that Houston offensively has started to get things going here in the second half. So, Portland's defense will have to step up.
Yeah, they will for sure, as that extra point is up and good. And finally some updated bingo numbers for everybody to, get that blotter and start stamping the card. Ever since I mentioned that, she hasn't even commented again. So either she's really into the blotting or she's mad at me and doesn't want to talk.
Yeah, maybe she just muted the stream and be like, I'm done with you guys.
How could you mute us?
I don't know.
We're a delight to the
Yes, we are.
The ears and the eyes, quite frankly.
Yes, absolutely.
I know that we can't go on camera like Cam.
No.
Cam. What? I think
Cam
I may have just had an aneurysm. I'm
do
not
the
sure.
Cam.
All right, so, wow, now I'm having seizures. All right, so we'll see what Houston's able to do on offense, as now trailing by 7, but
What is he talking about?
I don't know. In the second half, Houston's offense, as you mentioned, has been really good. And they've been able to get down the field. They've been able to get in the end zone. What? Go away. We didn't call him out. Why was he there? Guys, you give the guy one button and he thinks he just runs the whole league. Shanahan up top. Pass is incomplete. I guess he does.
I'm liking how Shanahan is now distributing the ball a little bit more.
Yes.
René Leon has actually not gotten the ball targeted, going his way in a little bit of time. It's been D.R. Simeon, Lucas Ryan. That time DeAndre Lawson, one of the star players, first look at him.
Yes. That pass is complete. Picks up some much-needed yardage. Now a 3rd and more manageable 5. You know, I've got faith once again in this Houston offense. Only put up 3 points in the first half, but 2 touchdowns so far here. They need to stay competitive in this one and keep this drive going. Shanahan over the middle, wide open target. No, dropped. And we've seen that a few times now from Simeon, where he's caught the ball, but then after getting jarred by a defender, the ball gets knocked loose. And 4th down and 5, they have no choice but to punt. Now it's going to be up to the defense to make sure Portland doesn't get any more points, because time, like I mentioned a little bit ago, time is precious now. There's enough to play, but not a lot to play with.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great hit by Sean Mueller. I mean, that was an unbelievable hit, but you have to come up with it if they are Simeon. I mean, it's a ball that hits you right in the hands. Just have to cradle the ball, stick it to your chest, and even fall down if you have to. But in a game like this, you cannot miss those opportunities.
Damon Simeon now joining us in the chat says, yikes, I missed the entire game. So he is dropping passes on the field and dropped his schedule of knowing when the game started all in the same night.
Yeah.
Poor Damon.
Not great.
We tease because we care. Tay-Ray Wright picks up 9 yards, and that's not what the Houston defense can be allowing here, because the clock is just going to be ticking away fast, as Portland at this point just wants to run this game out. We'll go with play action that time. And wow, Blackman just totally missed his target. A little bit rushed that time. 20 of 28, 204 yards, and 3rd down and 1.
And that's the 2nd time he tries to hit somebody across right down the middle and throws it to the ground. So maybe something, that he can improve. I mean, he has full control of the team and of his player. And
play action on 3rd and 1. That pass is complete. So again, that's one of those situations where if it works, they look like a genius, and if it doesn't, we question what they're doing. I'm going to still go ahead and question what he was doing, though. 3rd and 1, don't you just want to move the sticks?
You do. I mean, that's what they did with A.J. Price right there, the tight end. We haven't seen much of the tight ends. That's unfortunate, because you guys know, hashtag throw it to the tight end.
I've heard it used once or twice.
Yeah, or 3 times. And this time, it's only been just a couple of times for either team. We saw DeAndre Lawson get targeted for Houston just a drive ago. First real target for A.J. Price so far this game.
Just past midfield into Houston territory. Blackman will hand this one off, and nobody even was able to touch Wright for the first 4 yards of that run. He's still able to gain another after contact, and the clock will precariously continue to tick away.
Yeah, and a field goal here, and that's why the field goal for Houston was so crucial at the end of the first half. If it was 24-20, Portland can still kick a field goal and you still be down just 1 score.
Pass up top, getting that one out to Wright, but well defended that time, as he's wrapped up as soon after the ball was thrown. Benjamin Robach, he's been making plays all over the field. Tackle there for no gain, also has had multiple tackles for loss.
Yeah,
for this defense.
Yeah, now this is a huge down here for the Houston defense. It's 3rd down and 5 yards to go, and Portland is not even close to field goal range. So if you make a stop here, you will get the ball back with plenty of time left here still in the 4th quarter, just down by a touchdown here.
3rd and 6. Can the defense hold? And they do. Pass was swatted down and incomplete, and the offense will get the ball back, as Blackman just can't believe it. He thought he had that one.
Yeah, absolutely. He sure did. That was Mike Denali, maybe the best defensive player of this Houston Herd team, making the biggest play of the game for this defense. And again, the Hertz offense will be back onto the field with still about more than 6 minutes left here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, 94 rated safety. Denali running up. He's only 5'11", but he's got the hops. He got up, extended his arms just enough to swat that one down as this punt drops down at the 10. Little bit of a spin, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. As we see DJ Simeon's updated numbers, hasn't really turned it around too much. Yes, he got that touchdown, but neither team still has had really any huge games by any of their backs. It's been more of a game of passing.
Yeah, and the little bit of good running has been just to keep the defense honest.
Oh, no, it's picked off. Bounced out of the air. and picked off by the Portland defense. What a play. Simeon had it right in his hands, got rocked again. Ball went popping up, and this time Portland capitalizes on it.
Maybe one of the biggest hits I've seen this season here in the UFL. Look at this stick right there, right in the rib cage, and the linebacker just finds the ball.
Yeah, I was gonna say he didn't even really like have to try to catch it. Watch, he's just like,
here it is.
There's a ball. Okay, well I guess
there it is.
I go this way, right?
Yep. Sean Mueller, who had that stick on the previous drive on Simeon, now finds himself getting the ball, but what a hit right there by number 36. I think that is one of the safeties. Asher Terrio, 6'2", huge hit.
That's crazy. All right, well, Portland back in control of this one as Tayray Wright gets the ball once again, continues to add on small chunks of yardage, but more important than the yardage at this point, like I wouldn't even feel bad if I was Portland if I lost yards on each one of these plays and then just punted it away, or maybe even kicked a field goal, get it a 2-score game. Well, that certainly helps that cause, because with 5.5 minutes to go and you have a touchdown lead and you're in field goal range, at this point, Joey, if it's me, I'm just going to hand it off up the middle, and if I have to kick a field goal, I kick a field goal. The wind is at Portland's back.
Yeah, that's high formation, so they will have a fullback in there. Maybe they'll run it here. Nope.
Blackman does the long handoff, as Matt Wilson would always say. Dion Atwood, the fullback, gets the pass out his direction. But again, a loss of 1. I don't even care if I'm Portland. The clock is rolling, and I can still kick a field goal here if I want. Yeah,
no, absolutely. The important thing is keeping the clock moving. Don't throw it into the double coverage, and don't throw it near the sideline. You don't want to get out of bounds either. So, just keep in between the numbers, and just keep the clock running. That's the important thing, Rick.
That's the key. That's the ticket, laddie. Star Trek reference. Play action rollout. Blackman throws down towards the goal line, and he just went for it all and got it. Touchdown, Portland, and they've got a 2-score lead.
Yeah, coming just right across the field. You do the rollout to the right for a lefty and just throw it all the way to the left. That requires some great arm strength and great trust from your coaches. You're not going to just throw that play out if you don't trust your coach. I guess he's the coach, Emmanuel Blackman being the player. But
he does it all.
The young man, he's a 23-year-old quarterback, 6'5", and with a cannon for an arm.
Extra point is up and good. 31-17 is now the score. And of course, 31 was called much earlier on in the ball game. So no new bingo number for Rochelle and all her bingo friends. But
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but for Portland, now a 2-touchdown lead, and that was quite the way to do it. Another fine example of a play where if it works, you're a genius, and if it doesn't, everyone's left scratching their head.
That's true.
Like you said, he rolled out to the right and then went and had to throw it back across his body when he really could have just ran it and still gotten a 2-score lead off of a field goal and burned more time off the clock. And I guess that's the only thing after all of that I look at. I say, you still left Houston with a chance here because they got 4.5 minutes, all 3 timeouts, and a 2-minute warning.
Yeah. Look, you always take a touchdown when you can, but yeah, that's true. Houston does still have an opportunity. 3 timeouts, the 2-minute warning, only down 2 possessions. So, this game is far from over. So, Shanahan coming back out onto the field as we see some highlights of his struggles tonight. Sanders has been a wrecking ball in that backfield. The unclaimed Sanders, by the way. You could join Emmanuel Blackman over on Portland and help him make some choices to continue Portland's push for the playoffs. They're currently in the hunt. Talked about the playoff standings earlier on in the game. We can talk about them again here in a little bit. As we see the clock continue to roll in this one. I want to see if Houston is able to at least put a touchdown drive together on this one. This is a good roster, Portland's roster. It's actually a very good balanced roster.
A lot of great players, yeah. All left for the claiming, and then you claim them, you can help vote. 4 minutes to go. Clock continues to roll. 3rd down and 5, so big 3rd down here. They need touchdowns on both of these next possessions, or it's all over, and they're going to fall to 500, and Portland will increase to 500. We'll look at those numbers more in a little bit, and just totally missed his target. Shanahan struggling. 15 of 27, does have 267 yards, but also now has a pick on the stat line after that play on the last time they had the ball.
Yeah, I know, and it's looked rough for the passing offense for this Houston team here in the fourth quarter. You know, at the start of the third quarter, they got 14 points, and they were looking pretty good. Now here they're kind of reeling, and Portland's defense looking much better.
4th down and 5. Need it to keep the drive alive, and they cannot, as that one is bobbled and incomplete. Portland will take over on downs, and Joey, they're already in field goal range.
They are. And, you know, great pressure again here by the Portland team. So, you know, it's one of those situations where it's a good throw, it's a good call. Ryan, again, another one of those Houston players who've done a couple of really good plays, but then they turn and drop a pass right in their chest.
Well, that makes it really look like Portland is going to go on to potentially win this one. There's still time left on the clock. But let's take a look at those Week 13 playoff picture standings again as you know, it comes a little bit more into light. You see Houston as a division leader up there at 6-5. Almost certainly now they are going to fall to 6-6. And you've also got Phoenix, which coming into the week was at 6-5. Now they have fallen to 6-6 as well. So you know, that just keeps that mess in the Southwest Division as Portland's able to pick up a first down. You've also got Austin that was 6-6 coming into the week, and they'll probably remain at 6-6 at the moment, but just a bottleneck there at 6-6, as Cam was talking about earlier on with the tiebreakers. And now, you know, Portland getting that win, they'll also go to 500 at 6-6, just continuing to add to the mess.
We didn't even talk about the Great Lakes, which has Cincinnati, Motor City, and Milwaukee also at 6-6.
Yeah. As Blackman decides he's going to
Maybe
run.
A little bit too late.
I think that just a touch earlier would have been good there, Emmanuel. But as a coach, it makes my heart skip every single time.
Yeah.
2nd down and 6 as Houston burns their first time out. 2:23 to go here in the game. But barring a turnover, I'm not sure there's a way for them to get back into this one. Yeah, so Austin, Phoenix, Houston, Cincinnati, Motor City, and Milwaukee, all with that 6-6 bottleneck. That pass grossly out of bounds.
Better than a pick, I guess.
See, senor, see.
Better than a pick, but you have to keep the clock running here. I mean, 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, just get this game done at this point. You got a 2-touchdown lead. Hand it off.
Yeah, just run it here on 3rd down and 6.
Blackman does indeed listen. Oh, what a move. Game over. Touchdown Portland. And they're going to go to 6-6.
Wow, that's to right there. The 27-year-old halfback with the counter play breaks a tackle from the defensive lineman and then just completely leaves another poor soul in the dust. I mean, I don't want to even say his play. I will say it, Blades.
Blades.
Just completely getting his knees just completely destroyed. I mean, they're done. They're done. But what a fourth quarter here by Portland. I mean,
absolutely.
Houston tied the ball game up. We were like, this is a great ball game now. And Portland has now scored 21 unanswered.
Extra point is up and good. 38-17. Add 38 to your bingo card, Rochelle. Stamped. Portland going to move on with the win in this one. You know, their first half, they were able to get up, by a couple of touchdowns. Went into the half 17-3.
Yep.
And, Houston looked like they were going to try to claw their way back into it. Actually got the game tied up 17-17. But it has been all Portland since then. And at this point, there's really nothing Houston can do to even try to get back into it.
Yeah, and this is a huge win by Portland because we look at their last 4 games. They still have to play Dakota twice.
Right.
And Dakota is a very tough team to beat. I mean, it's going to be first at home here in Portland, and then final week of the season, they have to go to the Rhinos. I mean, that is going to be one of the toughest games of their schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Dakota at 9-3 right now, absolutely playing fantastic football. But, could be potentially something that, could end up helping decide the Northern Division. I mean, if Portland keeps playing games like they did tonight, obviously going to 6-6, they've got an opportunity to end the season 10-6 if they win out. Meanwhile, Dakota at 9-3. Listen, there's a good opportunity that they're going to have a better record than even 10-6, but it's possible. So especially if Portland was to win 2 of those games, that's it's halfway there to getting up in front of the division. So even though right now they're in second place by quite a bit, it won't necessarily stay that way. So a lot to still play out in that Northern Division as the season continues to roll on. For Houston, their next 4 games, Austin, and then they'll be at Denver, and they'll host El Paso, and then at Phoenix. So the road to the playoffs, not easy for either of these squads.
No.
Wide open player up top, and then a late hit, and I think they're going to call a late hit out of bounds. A little bit of a ticky-tack call there. I don't really, it certainly did not look intentional. I feel like Booker was in the air already.
Yeah, and the thing that will make it difficult for Houston is that 2 of those games go against division rivals, right? So they have to go against Phoenix and against Austin. Now, Phoenix is in Arizona, Austin at home, but those are 2 divisional games, and those are hard to win.
Play action. Shanahan looks, fires, end zone. Incomplete. Was trying to get that out to Rene Leon, who's individually had a impeccable game, but these poor receivers have just been getting just destroyed.
It's
by the
rib
Portland
shot
defense.
after rib shot
Yeah.
after rib shot. It looks like a boxing match right here.
That one was almost another interception, which would have come the same way as their first interception, just smashing it right out of the receiver's hands and plucking it right out of the air.
Yep.
We weren't able to haul that one in, but 3rd down and 10 now. If there's any shot,
Yeah.
it's very remote, but if there's any shot of getting back into this one, they really need to do it here. Shanahan in the gun, fires, end zone. That one is complete for a touchdown, so they'll cut this down to a 2-score lead and a onside kick coming up. Still have 2 timeouts, but with this much time left on the clock, there's about 1:20 and change left on the clock. If you don't get this onside kick, it's pretty much game over.
It's over. I mean, you have 2 timeouts left. If you're Houston, you don't recover this. It's about only taking 3 knees basically. If you're Portland, with a 2 touchdown lead, that's what you will do. So, obviously, mandatory for you to get the onside kick here.
Extra point is up and through. 38-24. Houston now with 300 passing yards, and if they complete the onside kick, they'll add on to that total.
They will.
It'll be an all-passing
Presumably.
attack. Yeah, you would think. We do, and it ended up not affecting them because it is a 2-score game here, 2-touchdown game at this point. But I still look back to the end of the first half when they could have at least kicked the field goal, but instead went for a touchdown, didn't get it. It would have made it a little closer. Like I said, it really wouldn't have played in too much now because Portland's offense just piled on the points there at the end.
Yeah.
You still wonder, would it have made their play calling any different along the way? You never know. That whole butterfly effect thing. Onside kick, bouncing, and bouncing some more. And the ball is recovered by Portland. That'll be just about all she wrote, as I would imagine that they'll probably still run the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of time with the 2 timeouts. They can't just totally, kneel it away.
Kill the clock, yeah.
Skippy needs a 25 to bingo. So we'll see. Maybe they'll, for whatever reason, get it down to the 25-yard line and then just rush it in from there. Or
Maybe they can get it to the 8-yard line and kick a 25-yard field goal.
They could. I don't think they're gonna. We'll see. All right. So, they did not get to the 25, but second timeout called for Houston. 1 remaining.
Yeah.
It's going to be really great to watch the rest of the UFL season and see just how things shake out. I mean, still plenty of games left, but
Yeah.
so many teams at 6-6. tiebreakers make my brain hurt.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how Cam does it, but we're gonna see a lot of teams. I feel like they're gonna be between 8-8 and 9-7.
Right.
Maybe some teams at 8-8 will make it. Some others will not because of some odd tiebreaker.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, if your end zone is purple, you're not making it, or something like that. But if it's blue, you can.
That would be an amazing tiebreaker. We're only going to let in teams with red end zones. Purple need not apply. And then Portland will be like, but it's violet.
Yeah. It's another word for purple. So
Yeah.
you're done.
And on an overcast day, it's blue.
Yeah. You're done still.
Screen pass down to the bottom. Another basically long handoff. Will bring up a 4th down. Minute to go. So even with the play clock rolling down, if they waited for it to be at the last possible second and punted it away, Houston will still have about 30 seconds. It's just simply not enough time. Only down 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, crazier things have happened.
Yes.
The punt is away. Trying to kick this one high to let the clock continue to roll and out through the back of the end zone for the touchback. 36 seconds, no timeouts. 80 yards to the end zone as we see Shanahan's updated numbers. 330 yards, a touchdown, a wild pick. A little over 50% completion percentage. Shanahan taking a lot of time. They got to do quicker plays than this. Trying to get it halfway up the field, and gets into the 49-yard line, but with no timeouts, it's going to go down to about 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Before they're back at the line.
10-second runoff in the UFL.
So there we go, and 12 seconds. Snap the ball, no spikes. So we'll see handoff, and that will be it because we are now under 10 seconds. So I think they just wanted to head back to Houston and get ready for the next one. So this one is final. Portland gets the win and advances to 6-6 on the season. Houston takes the loss in this one. They will fall to 6-6. Player of the game, Emmanuel Blackman, the one and only claimed player on the Portland Huskies, had a phenomenal second half. Struggled to get the game going, and then really piled it on. Second quarter and fourth quarter, that's where he really thrived. Your final thoughts on this one?
Yeah, at the start of the game, it was more so Colby Sanders, the defensive end, who was able to get some pressure and a couple of sacks early on the quarterback. That made the game, stay close at the beginning, and then Emmanuel Blackman just completely took over. Had a couple of really good runs, and passing-wise, he was pretty good so far, or in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as we'll see the final stats in this one roll through. It's been a great week of UFL football. Appreciate you all joining us for UFL Primetime tonight. It was an honor and a privilege to be able to call a game side by side with you. A rare opportunity since you live at least 50 or so kilometers away.
At least.
I don't know the conversion, so it's 50-ish, 5,000 maybe. There's a lot of kilometers.
There's a lot of kilometers.
But you were here tonight, and it was great to call a game with you, and it was a lot of fun. Game got all tied back up there at one point, and then Portland just stomped their foot on the gas, fighting for their playoff lives, and that was one great way to get back into it. But that's it from us here in the booth. So for Joey Ramos-Lynn, Cameron Irvine, and Matt Wilson, who's always with all three of us in spirit, quite frankly, be kind to one another. Always choose happy. I'm Mike Denix. Have a great night, everybody. We will see you next time.